What are we doing? I have to show the little... I don't have to show it. Whatever. What's up, everybody? My name is Richard Terrell. I go by Kirby Kid, and you are watching DL Live, a daily show in which we talk about game design. And today, it's the first day that we are not talking about Super Smash Brothers in many weeks. So I'm kind of out of the groove, and I just kind of want to take it easy for today and talk a little bit about Salmon Run, or what we call Grizz or Grizzco. And this is quite possibly, I think it's the best horde mode ever, and I also think it's one of the most fun modes I've ever played, especially considering that it's co-op. So instead of playing some, right, I'm just by myself right now. I figured I'd just go over some of the highlights. So every time something amazing happens in Salmon Run, I just hold that share button and I take all kinds of videos. So like, I have hundreds of videos, 788, right? And I have a huge memory card, so I've just been taking them like crazy. So what we're going to do is just look at a few of them, and I'll talk about some of the reasons why I snapped the video, and we'll just discuss some of its game design. So let's do it. Okay. So it starts here. I'm just doing some cleanup. And then all of a sudden these missiles come in. So I use the conveyor to get away from missiles. More missiles, dodge them. Dually jump up here. Try to throw this to cripple this. And all of a sudden I see a scrapper. Right? So then I have to like get away from this thing by moving backwards. And this is really cool because like the whole terrain over here is filled with patches of my color and the enemy's color. The enemy's color is always green. There's obviously a lot of threats coming in, so my ability to move requires understanding the environment. Oh, I didn't even put up the chat. And also understanding the where is it? Understanding what the paint layout looks like, right? So right here, I'm moving quite accurately and quite swiftly through all this danger. But every single movement I make requires me understanding what's in front of me, behind me, and I'm just spinning rapidly and aiming and charging ink. Like, all this is a very rapid fire. Up the hill, put a splat of ink there so I could get barely enough ink for the grenade. Shooting from my feet, laser coming in. So I jump. This is so cool. Laser coming in. I jump so I won't be hindered by the ink in front of me. Shoot forward, down, and make sure I splat this enemy. Now there's just enough of my ink in this area. See how it makes like a U pattern? I can't really highlight it very easily, but it makes this up the ramp and below the ramp is like 2 strips of orange. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. I see the scrapper coming in, and then I'm like, oh, go up with the upper strip. The lower strip was immediately like painted by this laser coming in. So I shoot, and I barely don't get away from the second laser. So if there wasn't 2 lasers right here in a row, I totally would have gotten away with this. But it's cool because, you know, you need a little bit of time to heal, and you need to be not being hit to be healed. And right here, I think I take a little bit of damage here, there. I don't think I ever fully heal. I'm still hurt. Yep, I'm still hurt. Still hurt. There, I fully heal. Hurt for the rest of this run. Okay. This rain, by the way, this rain is super interesting. It does damage to you, and if you stay inside of its effect for the whole duration, it's not enough to kill you. One rain isn't. In multiplayer, staying inside the rain will kill you. But here, like the little spatters of ink, you're like, that's not so big of a deal. But you know, when it's mostly your color, you can swim through it almost unimpeded. When it's half and half, you'll start to sputter, and then when it's mostly green, you'll be stopped. So like, as you can see, the green is slowly filling in. It's not trivial where every single one of those paint drips falls. Again. No. Every paint drip is important. Every shot that everyone takes, every enemy that they kill early or late, changes the battlefield, and it's important. Right here, I just wanted to hit the steelhead. I missed. I'm too late. Now I see this big eel in my face, and the bomb's behind me. I'm like, oh no. This is so bad. This rando next to me, I think he dies. Yeah, the rando died. It's the difference between me and a rando. Trapped? Maybe there's nothing that guy could have done. But I go forward, then jump. I was just going to jump because it's kind of safer. And then this Moz comes in right beneath me. That would have killed me if I didn't jump right there. And I shoot, and I kill something, I think. Yeah, I kill this Gohawk. Bam. And then I'm able to walk out on the grates and get out of there. Smooth. Let's try this one. Just a quick example. Keeping track of where your friends are and helping them. Marcus has a dynamo roller right here. He cannot hit this enemy on his back in any timely manner, so I just give a 2-shot, right? Just help my brother out. Literally, help a brother out. I missed. This was cool because I hit the steelheads 3 different ways. Here's the first way. On the side. The second way is slightly angled towards me. And the third way is angled away from me. And each one required a different shot. Because, like, the first 2 look like they're the same shot. They're not. The way the steelhead lunges back before firing, he lunges backwards. So if you're not sure which way he's facing, you're probably going to miss. Yeah, see that little like head go down, then I throw my head up? Like that can throw you off big time. And knowing when the vulnerable spot's going to be peaking at the top, super important. But yeah, hit your marks. I missed at the beginning. I'm like, I'm not missing again. That was all there was to that one. Yeah, painting areas is super important. Hitting those out of the air is so fun. So fun. So normally, the enemy has to hop to get near you, and then it shoots a missile. But there's a small window in which you can take it out completely before it even threatens you at all. And with those cannons there, it's pretty easy to do damage. So aiming up in the sky and like tracking its arc, super fun. There's nothing else that moves like that in the game, so it becomes quite a little unique aiming challenge. Right there. Look at all that damage. You have to calibrate how far away the target is and try to aim accordingly. That missile barely hits the tail end, and I think the splash damage from the left missile almost kills it in one shot. Another nice thing is eggs will never fall into the water. They always fall where you can get them. How nice. Oop. So, there's a lot of cool things going on in this clip, but in general, I got a weapon that's like a mini Gatling gun, and it charges quick and it dispenses a lot of shots quick, but it doesn't have a long firing clip. So it's just like that. Like, that's it. It's over. So I have the most firepower weapon in this whole sort of layout. So I gotta make sure I hit the high priority targets with damage. Look at this eel. I'm like, is it tracking me? Is it tracking me? And right when I realize it's not, I'm like, okay, I can go around the back. But then this Moz comes up and it blocks my shots. But somebody else killed it, I think. Look at that. Moz, what are you doing? So I'm like, okay, that eel. And then another Moz comes up, so I have to get out of that spot. So I couldn't even prepare for this eel. And then I see Marcus is dead on the other side, so I go around and throw it over the eel. You can't really see it, but it lands on the other side of the eel and then wakes him up. I'm like, that's so cool. And it may have even killed the eel. Probably not, though. I bet Marcus just hit it. And then this is cool, too. Knowing what to prioritize. There's a small fry on the right near the basket. There's a medium little fish, a chum. And then there's a quahog, which is a big fat fish, and then there's a steelhead. So look at this, like, this perfect vertical line of danger. But the cool part is we prioritize the most dangerous target, which is a big metal guy, and we just automatically lock our aim, knowing where the head's gonna be. Take it out. This explosion does damage to nearby enemies, so you know, everything in this area took a little damage, and maybe something's died. And then we're able to back up as a team and like carefully walk out of the situation. The quahogs, the big fat guys, are kind of dangerous, but they're the slower ones, right? So we all angled ourselves in front of the slower ones. So one, he's slow, he's not going to get us. And two, the faster ones have to walk around the slower one to get to us, and they're having a little bit of a problem. That's the kind of micro spacing stuff that just makes this mode amazing, right? You just scan it and you're like, enemy types easily discernible by their silhouettes, by their size, and then you do these micro steps and you're like, well, how did you guys survive that? You're like, well, every freaking inch matters, right? And when you're in sync, it just seems like it's easy. But when you're not, you're like, oh my gosh, I got killed by everything. No. Oh, this is where I was being dumb. So we were pressured, and I miscounted. And I totally could have won the game here just by grabbing one more egg, right? And I just leave because I thought we had it won. I was just trying to stay alive. Just lost it for my team. My bad, moving on. So this gun I have now has super long range. It's called a jet squelcher. I can hit that guy in distance, right? Easily. Your aim. The weapon has great range. It doesn't have a high damage rate. So most guns, if they're close enough to hit this little bubble on the top and they hit all their shots, be able to blow it up easy. But I'm like, ah! I think one of my shots misses right there. You hit it 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it's important that even though this weapon's great, right? There's another example. I didn't get it because I didn't aim. I need to aim like right over the top and make sure that these shots right there that are going past them hit. And by the time the steelhead head lines up to where I thought it was going to be, I don't have enough time to put in enough shots before he throws it. It's just a perfect example of like, it looks simple, but when you're trying to optimize and you really can't wait for 2 cycles for this guy to throw bombs and you really can't let him threaten your friends, super important to aim even beyond anticipating its final place. You got to anticipate the entire animation. I'm not even sure they rock their head in the same way every time. I'm not even sure. No! Okay. So this is pretty intense. I missed this shot. So like, you're like, oh, well, what's the big deal? You missed the shot. He only needs like 2 more shots, 1 more shot from any gun to blow it up. That's not that big of a deal. You have 30 seconds to win this match, but look at this. I go up, I have to avoid that spot because that's a bomb. I heard this guy using my headphones behind me. I flip around. I see my ally is down there, and there's a help in the bottom right, so somebody's dead. We already have one down and one guy too far away from the base. That means I'm the only one able to stop these incoming threats. When everyone else from wherever they are has eggs and they're going to bring it back to the base, their eggs are going to be threatened by these guys I couldn't stop. So here's one bomb. So, you know, just knowing the timing of the bombs, you can hear it. It explodes. But now I'm like, okay, time to get back to action. There's a maw right under my feet. Just like another enemy, right? Any other enemy but this guy who threatens your position pretty immediately, like pretty accurately, I would have been able to shoot these guys on the right and held them both off from getting to the base. But now I'm like, gotta bail. Here's the help I saw earlier, and I knew it was there, so I'm like, okay. I aim down. He makes his way through the steel eel wall because he's dead, and when you're dead, you can just pass through danger. And I know that steel eel is coming after me, so I jump off, aim at his tail, land here to avoid its head, and then jump back into its spot over here. Barely get out of that maul. I'm trying to figure out what I can hit, but I foolishly go straight for the danger zone. I'm like, I should have just backed up. Like, everything's pink behind me. Look, it's all pink. And then Adrian, he's like too far away to help. He's beyond the steel eel, so this is just bad. Yep. Everything matters, and small optimizations like that matter. So another important thing that's kind of hard to explain, but you definitely feel how important it is to keep areas painted. Some weapons can't paint and move themselves forward very well, even though they're great at like doing damage or killing things from afar. And other weapons are great at painting but can't do a lot of damage, and some are just good all around. My weapon is good at damage, but since that rev up happens, ding ding, and I have to fire, I'm using the mini Gatling gun again, mini Splatling. I can't really move very well, so like keeping this area clean and having your allies keep it clean for you, and see if you overextend, they need to help you paint your way back. Super important. See, like, I'm painting ahead, and then Leech just jumps out of the... Nice. So these guys are missile launchers, and they will ruin your day if you just leave them, and they don't really like to come close. The only way you can kill them is by charging up a bomb, which obviously takes up like 4/5 of your ink tank, and then tossing it with accuracy into the bucket. Normally when we're playing this game, we call like, I got left, I got right, and so we don't double up in the same bucket, because every cycle you miss of this, missiles are going towards your friend. So then look at Bleach in that full baseball arm pose. He throws it up the top, and it technically landed in the middle. And if the bomb lands in the middle of these two sort of Rubbermaid buckets, it doesn't do any damage. But for some reason, it blew up the left basket. Maybe it was just lag, and he actually landed it in his, and I landed in mine, and we got out of there. But everywhere the enemy moves, I guess I need to point this out, they make their color green, right? So while we have to shoot everything to put paint down, they just move. The more of them, even the small ones that move really fast, that means they're just claiming territory. Look at that little small guy just moved straight at me. You can see him on the left. He's zigzagging, and he's just fast, and he's just painting up everything. So now I'm back with the super long range gun, the Jet Squelcher. And I'm like shooting these guys from this far away. I see the Kohawk and his crazy goofy doofy smile, and I know how to dodge just out of the way. Look at my ink little in the puddle animation right there, right where his frying pan's smacking down. And this guy's almost dead. I guess another cool thing to point out is when the enemies are covered in your ink and they're nearly 100% covered, that means they're one shot to kill, right? So their health is basically how colored they look, and that's pretty consistent for all the enemies that take continual damage. So now I just turn around and kill him. I just knew. There's no guessing. Look, he went from green to pink. You can see it. Like, a little more pink, a little more pink, a little more pink. He has his eyes covered. Now his hair is completely covered, and he's about to die. There you go. That was so close. So like, this is the amazing part about building your games out of simple timers, right? Like, a lot of people are making their their enemies, and they're making them with like too many interchangeable random routines that they cycle between, and they try to make their enemies fast for whatever frick reason, and they're like using dash attacks and burst attacks and all these things to kind of catch the player, right? You don't need any of that junk. It actually makes it harder to make really layered, interesting, complex timers if you do try to do all the legwork with a single enemy. This snake is, which I vote is the best boss enemy in the entire game. It's so simple. All it does is chase whoever. Like, it picks a player that's close or whatever and chases it, and it leaves this wall behind it. And this wall is impenetrable, but enemies can walk through it. So, like, if he hits you in the head, it takes, like, 2 head hits to kill you. So I'm like, oh, shoot, didn't see it. That's 1 head hit. You can see on the side of the screen how much damage I took because there's, like, little green ink marks coming in. There we go. Hopefully you can still hear me. So yeah, I took damage. I'm in trouble. Then this laser beam starts coming in. I'm like, oh no. So these stingers that shoot laser beams from the very edges of the map, super annoying. And you have to go out to kill them because they never walk close. They always stay on the edges of the map near the water. So because I knew the laser's angled down, I could kind of pinpoint its position. That means if I move horizontally here, he'll be tracking me slowly, right? So I focus fire with my brother. I walk slightly to the left so that we can both hit the target, and then I see this bomb coming in. That was from the steelhead that we both saw, and I'm like, oh no, there's no way we could both shift our aim up now and kill it. So we all prioritize this moving wall. I'm like, get the moving wall. As soon as the wall's free, I boost into the space. Look at Adrian right there. And then I barely go around this geometry of this canister, and I think that allowed most of the damaging shockwave to spare me, and I just took minimal damage. And like, I was already hurt, so like that would have definitely killed me. And then I just paid my way back, and Adrian's dead, of course, because he did not make it out. So that's just a perfect example of like, wow, every piece of feedback matters, every piece of paint matters. Every bit of teamwork matters when your weapons are a little underpowered. Leading your enemies away, like the snake's on me. I should have known that based on how his... Oops. Oh well. I should have known that based on how his head's moving right here. Like that little turn right there at the end. That means he's looking at me. So I should have not been surprised right here. Or is that another snake? It's the same snake, I think. Yeah, it's the same snake. That was so close. And like, I go straight into this enemy here, but this enemy is a non-aggressive type. He just tries to snatch your eggs. That's why he's called a snatcher. So that enemy's just here to like kind of take your eggs and leave. Which is fine because they're slow at doing it. And there's that same enemy I was trying to prioritize. And I'm going to try to... Yeah. Okay, no more footage. So yeah, very pro-level thing to do is paint the walls. Those are going to be really important escapes when things get tight. So... Before the match even starts, we're playing ahead. 1, 2, 3. Yep. 3 direct shots. I throw the bomb, go down below. I'm in danger, but I have a shield, and I barely get out of there. And I come back right when the steel hill's gone. That's so cool. That is so cool. So just look at how all this unfolds. That big steelhead, like we talked about before, only triggers when you're semi-close. So I know that if I move back a little bit, he won't trigger. And then I can wait, and it makes him go a little bit closer to where I want him to be. And then I move forward and trigger him. And he goes, yeah. And then I already have my aimer set. 1, 2, 3. Kill him. I see this eel coming in. And I throw the bomb really high. Like that. Because I know the eel always... Oops, oh, come on. The eel's tail always follows where his head is, so you kind of know where he's going to be. And then I use this cool, like, through the grate trick, drop down, shoot my escape. I probably should have shot that escape ahead of time, but since I have the Spybrella, or the Sorella, I can hold it up while firing, which is the only weapon in the game that does that. So I'm actually shielding from all their stupid little frying pan goofy faces. You can tell this one on the right is near dead, this one is a little more health. And then I can't kill him. I just jump, get out of there. I think he hits me. Does he hit me? He hits me just a little bit. That's weird. It didn't knock me off. And then just enough time for the eel to be killed on the top. But if I didn't throw that bomb at the eel, he probably wouldn't have been killed like exactly that fast, and I probably would have been killed coming up on the bottom of it. Yeah, like that was right when he needed to die. So that's just cool. That's cool. That's another cool case. So like we're dying because this is hard, apparently. So this is another cool case of the delay timers. Marcus is dead. There's a bomb here and there's another bomb. Chances are there's 3 still heads, right? So I shoot forward. Oh, this is a cool thing here. After I get revived, the first thing I do is, well, we need eggs to win, so I'm going to shoot back and make sure that that's an easy way to move in case anyone else needs to come here or whatever. Then I jump the gap because there's a little bit of green here, but my bleach is already painting it, which is cool, so I go and bleach. Then I paint near the basket so other people can get eggs in. And then I realize, oh, we're about to die. So then Bleach tries to go early, right? Because he wasn't quite keeping track of this timer over here on the right, and explode, right? And then it killed him. He must have been injured before, but I foolishly jump, and I'm like, oh no! But I put up the umbrella just in time. Bam! See the umbrella? Just in time, and it took my entire umbrella, like it destroyed it. So now I have no guard, so I have to get out of there. And if I didn't shoot my way out of this like perfectly, right, I would have been hit. I probably should have that second shot should have been right here so I could move better. But then I take one hit, a weak hit, and then I'm able to escape. And then I see missiles coming, so I just run. You see, and I see my friend needing help. That's where Bleach died. He jumped off and died, so I knew where he was going to be. Do a quick toss. Jump over here to avoid the stupid small fish at the bottom, because you can use verticality really well in this game. Even though this looks like a trivial little jump, it's super important because those fish can't jump. And then I jump back around, he's still bothering me, and I kill him. So this is the another set of weapons. My brother here, Marcus, he's using the E-liter, which is the longest sniping rifle charger in the game, and he just decided to stay up here when all the action is happening down there, like a very unique strategy. And he's just like chilling, so I just stay up here too for fun. And we're just like shooting with these super long weapons. Of course, the Stinger, the little laser dude, and you can see another laser dude coming in the background. I think they fire at the farthest away person from them, so obviously us hanging out in the back here. When does he start firing at my brother? Yeah, my brother's standing behind me, so he gets lasered, right? He's just slightly farther away. So I'm just painting up paths for my friends. I'm like, okay, time to get into action. And I identify this pack of targets right here. So I use the long range to hit the guy behind. Just need a few shots to get that last bit in. Ah! That was so close. Oh my goodness. And then the laser's still targeting Bleach. That's hilarious. So because the lasers are targeting Bleach right there, I know Marcus has moved off this perch. So let's see that again. In this game type, the enemies can only come in one of these 3 sort of peninsulas, right? This one on the right is not connected, but these 2 on the left are connected by this small little like landmass. So I go down there to help, but then I'm like, well, my friends are probably all taking care of this one on the left. So I see a threat immediately. I'm like, I gotta take care of it. So this weapon has a long charge, so I make sure I charge early. Whenever you hit this clunker, it stops. You hear that? That was its tires squeaking. I slow it down temporarily and then aim high. Try to hit it, but then all of a sudden, you know, the little stacks are dropping, and then this clunker gets in the way, so I have to move to the side. If I were just a little bit faster, I wouldn't have need to do the second rev up, and that would have kept me safe. And then if I were a little faster, I wouldn't be targeted by these missiles when I'm deep in enemy territory. So basically, I tried to double back. If I didn't get bumped by this clunker, I would have run straight into this missile. But he actually pushed me, thankfully. So then I go and shoot immediately down, barely dodging the water, and then squid down and up. And since he was going on the 3D geometry, he has to like come down to me. See, I'm underneath his little stupid bumper, and I actually escape using the very thin hitbox of when I turned into a squid. And I was just like, ah! You know, something like that. That was crazy. Yeah, so it's really important in this game not to die. If you die, you're gonna take up. I mean, you're not getting eggs, you're not killing things, and your friends gotta get you back. Like, that's a ton of resources lost. So survival like that, super important. Laser on me. Okay. I have a Clash Blaster. Knowing when to throw your bombs is actually really crazy design problem. This is split the snakes. I love this. Look, I just have a Clash Blaster and I go down the middle. Isn't that crazy? That is crazy. That's why I saved this one. So I see these two eels, and look, I'm like, oh no, it's a double eel. And the enemies can, for the most part, stack on top of each other. And in most games, I consider this a bad thing because, you know, when enemy meshes are on top of each other, it gets really hard to read, and the interactions get really hazy. Like, did I hit one enemy and the other block inside of him? Like, what's happening? But Splatoon, these bosses and these enemies are really simple. So it's not as bad when they stack together. And I think the only enemies that really do it, like, super egregiously is just these eels. So as you can see, this eel is actually a double eel. I throw the bomb towards the base of it because I knew where their tails are going to be. And since I was on the side, that eel's trying to follow me. So then I know I could go straight down the middle. And look at that. Just Clash Blaster. Double hits, double hits, double hits, double hits. Turn, kill the one that was chasing me. That's why he didn't kill me right there. It's just a simple understanding of timing and link. Kill him. Get my friend back. Not my friend. That's a rando. And we take it from there. So that's just really cool. You hear that? Somebody stop that scrapper. Oh my gosh, that was so crazy. So like, climbing up walls, you pretty much need it to be all your color. You need to have some path. And I go up, I see a missile. I actually get pushed back. I think I get pushed back. Slide off the edge. The laser's coming after me, so I go to squid form, swim back up, and see how the laser's painting green on the areas where it cuts through? So my possible paths are getting cut off, and I'm like, I gotta move. I see the rando on the side. That was so close. You can see the steel eel shadow, and I knew it was close. And right when this Quahog explodes, look at that! Like, surprise! Look, or it's a Maz. Look. Surprise! I'm like, oh my gosh. And then more missiles are coming. So once again, you have to like plan your escape routes. Oh my gosh! Yeah. Usually when you use a splashdown, we call it a trash down for a reason. It just usually gets you killed. Because enemy armor, it doesn't punch the enemy armor. So right here, I decide to get back closer to the basket. Kill a few people, jump immediately into danger. I should have done a hard left here. Instead I go forward. And then I was like, I would use splashdown. It hits a few things, sure. But then I got bumped by the scrapper into the steel eel. It's fine. This is fog. This is once again playing around with the 3D geometry right here, and I was able to stay pretty much on this upper area without moving too much. Super cool. So it all starts with, oh, these small fries. Look at their tiny little spoons. Those spoons look like the spoons from the Fruit Loop color change cereal boxes when I was a kid. That's what the spoons look like, that weird little green plastic. Ouch, it's hurting my ears. So I shoot down, destroy them, and then right when I destroy them, I'm like, wait, why did it just instantly turn green? I'm like, oh no, it's a Maz. So I move up here. This is a priority, so we just go ahead and triple fire him. I know the Maz is coming. And there's a goalie, he tries to hit me. You see how I like get out of the way of this big fat Quahog on the left? He tries to hit me with a stupid frying pan, with his ugly face. Boom, misses because I went right. And then I shoot down so I can have mobility. Throw a bomb into that Maz, he explodes. And I knew based on the timing that he'd be gone right now. So then I use the Quahog's hit. Oh, I didn't use it. I got knocked off the platform, but I paint my way back up so I had to avoid this one. That was so close. And I was like, oh! And then I can just defend the roost. And then Bleach comes up to help me. And I throw a bomb. That's so cool. Ah, so annoying. My bomb toss fell out. So they tune these fly fish pretty well. If you anticipate them opening, you get 3 shots at it. 1, which I missed. I guess you get 2 legitimate shots at it. I missed the first one. Friend comes in, throws in the one on the left. I'm like, I have just enough time to get this last one. See how it's closing? And I barely get it. Yeah. I was like, oh, how many eels are there? 1? Oh, there's 2. Oh, 1 eel? Not too bad. Oh, take it right. And you can't swim on these grates, obviously you fall through. Oh my gosh. Ah! So I make a lot of these, I guess I see now a pattern. I'm dying a lot because I make these aggressive movement plays. So right here I should have realized there's pink all behind me. So after I do this, and I see this eel, my instinct should have been take the bump, because I had plenty of health, and go backwards. Instead, I go knee deep into this danger zone. And right here, if this little guy right here, this open mouth, slack jawed yokel, if he didn't hit me, I would have been able to swim up into the safety pink area. But since I didn't anticipate it, my gun actually can't like recover too quick after I fire, and I was just too slow, and then all of a sudden I get rammed. But I was definitely planning on getting some higher ground. That's what it takes. Oh, I'm out of ink. Yeah. I had a video of that I showed you guys before. Little nooks and crannies you can tuck yourself into. So this weapon has good range and it explodes when it lands, but otherwise it's kind of weak. So these little small fry fish that follow these big guys, they're really annoying. And they paint up and they move up and they can kill you and they're hard to see, and when your aim's looking up, look at those googly-eyed idiots. When you're looking up all the time, it's really easy to miss them, and they're deadly spoons. So I go up the wall here. I'm like, okay, I'll help. And I throw the bomb like right here in the crevice. I knew it was going to fall down. It's supposed to kill all the tiny fish, so I wouldn't have to worry about them. There's one left, though. And I couldn't make it up the ramp here because I goofily didn't. So I'm like, just don't move. And like, little googly-eyed fish. Get away from me. That's. But then, you know, I can attack here. So then I just keep painting my feet and hitting up and using the shockwave to survive. Little things like that, knowing how not to panic and knowing your weapon, can be the difference between beating these levels, beating these modes, and not. Oh, this is the one I probably showed you guys before. The movement of the tetrajoules. Wow, they just punched me all kinds of ways. Look how many steel eels there are. There's one in front of me, one trying to bite me, one near the camera. And then there's like, it's a bunch. What the? There's one weakened there. There's one coming up there. I couldn't kill him because I had this so timed. I was like, and kill him. And then right when I turn, look at that stupid googly-eyed steel eel eye looking straight at me because he knew he was dead. He knew he was dead. Look. Look at fear. Death. And I was shooting straight at him and he just needed one hit. And look, he knows he got away with that. And I'm just in Jurassic Park. Somebody finally killed him, but it was too late. He punched me into a laser. He punched me into a laser beam. Like that. Fun. Sometimes waiting and preparing for these enemies you have to kill a specific way can really put you in danger. Check this out. Run out of ink. Run out of ink right when I need to make the next shot. No ink. Low ink. The reason I had low ink is because I threw a bomb in here and it takes up 4/5 of your tank. And then I just did a foolish shot right here. Like, if I didn't do this stupid foolish shot, like, what am I hitting? What do I even think I'm hitting? I'm just hitting metal. I should have waited, and then that would have been a much better situation. I wouldn't be blocking myself right now. I know a lot of it seems like simple pathfinding juking, right? Going up into some elevation so that the enemies have to run all the way around. But it's significant because this game has a lot of enemies that don't get juked by the elevation, like the ones that just shoot missiles at you or lasers from afar or throws bombs. Like, bombs don't care about elevation that much. So, like, you know, some counters exist for some and some don't for others. And when it starts layering up like this, another twin snakes. So that's cool. I got angry with the Timbrella. So here's cool. So all these guys are coming in and they're making these crazy walls. You can't go left, can't go right. Now it's super important to take care of these threats. Somebody thankfully gets me back and I immediately get to work. Threat number 1. 1 shot, 2 shot at close range, almost killed it. And then Bleach killed the last one. And like, cool, that guy's dead. Turn. There's this third one I didn't know about. I'm like, okay. But guess what? This little chum that hits me, somebody's throwing a bomb rush, so I can carefully just jump around the environment and not worry about certain enemy threats. That was fun. Every time you hear that high-pitched sound, I'm hitting metal, which means it's ineffective. So close. I do this all the time. This is one of my favorite things. Steel eels will track you if you get close, but sometimes they have another target, or sometimes they can't do such a hard turn. So sometimes when I'm in danger, I'm like, the only place to go is to straight alongside the eel. But then there was another eel, and that one didn't have any problems trying to bite me. I was like, what is this? That's my favorite thing. Come on. So yeah, getting callouts and knowing how many threats are coming in allows you to make more informed decisions, and that was not one of them. Oh my gosh. The bobbing and weaving. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Okay, I'm going to break this one down. So, this weapon has a slow fire rate but high damage. You know, decent range, whatever. So, I'm in here and I'm nearly dead. You can see on the outside of the screen it's all green and mucky. So, I'm like, gotta heal. And now there's rain coming in. I'm like, okay, don't get hit by the rain. And now there's missiles on my feet. You can tell by the green circle. I'm like, okay, I can deal with it. First, put all the missiles in one place so I can dodge them easily. Good. But then, when the missiles hit, they obviously painted their color. I'm like, reverse, paint my own way out because I need this to be mobile. Cool. Maul's there. I'll get him on the next cycle. Kill that enemy. Grab an egg. Put it in. I'll get the Maul's on the next cycle. Throw it. There. And the Maul has a grenade in his mouth. You can hear him. And then it just kind of sucks right into him because, thank you. Drop down. I see my friend firing over my shoulder to help paint out the middle. So I move backwards into the safe area and see an attack into the danger area. So now this whole right side's purple. Cool, we have control. So it gives me enough time to stand there. I was so dead. You don't know. So each time these missiles don't hit me, right here, took damage. Here, took damage because it blew up near me. Here, took damage. I'm dead. This shockwave from this dot right here at the bottom is going to kill me, right? But somebody shot off a tint umbrella, which is a shield, just like I showed you before with the small umbrella. And this is a huge umbrella. You can shoot it off and it just travels. And I make sure I move down to, you know, three-dimensionally block it. And then the umbrella blocks the missile for me. See how it turns all green? I totally survived. If this rain behind me touched me, totally would have been dead too. Like, it's so tight. And I saved it immediately. So this gun is not. This gun has a crazy bullet spread too. Like, see, I'm aiming straight, and 2 shots go to the left, 1 shot goes to middle, and you know, up and down. It's got a crazy kind of cone, which is its only drawback, really. That was fun, just saving friends through a window and just always being aware of where your teammates are. Yep, blew up. It's cool. So somebody has a laser and it can get your teammates back, but you gotta hit you with it. They have to hit you with it. So I'm jumping into the laser and he moved it, thankfully. And I'm trying to just pop some of these. So sometimes near the end of a round, I get really greedy and try to get as many eggs as possible. So right here, I couldn't kill any of them. So this is a crazy part. Each of these enemies are really easy to take, like, on their own. But just move this way. But when they layer together, their simple positioning can make all kinds of new challenges. Like right here, I try to attack up above them, but now they're too close to me, right? So I gotta back off. And all the meanwhile, I'm getting eggs. So look, I try to splash him. But the middle one that I was aiming at already threw his head. I probably should have been aiming at the one on the right. And then the one on the left and right are going to stagger their attacks and throw them both. Oh. Now they see me. But they're going to throw it past me because I don't think they can throw it. Yeah, they can't throw nothing through. So I got all the eggs and then I exploded because of the shockwave. But yeah, I couldn't take any of them out. Not from where I was and not with my weapon. No, I keep missing. I like aiming early. The earlier you aim, the faster you can get your ink back. And then we both have to get out of here. So I paint the wall and he paints the other part of the wall. We both barely make it out. That's so cool. One enemy can threaten an entire position. This dude, we turn like, oh no, here he comes. We gotta grab an egg though, because otherwise that whole trip would have been a waste. He sees us. Punches me. I barely get down underneath his jaw. Look at this punch. And then squid down. See that jaw? So crazy. Barely get out. Yeah, look at how I break down the tasks. Get an egg, go back to base. See a threat, decide to get him on the next cycle. Know the timing, and get ready for the cycle. Already ready for you. Already have my ink up. Kill him. I was gonna walk down and immediately go for some eggs. I clearly didn't see the eel until right here. And I was like, oh, and I go left. Somebody died. I'm like, okay. And then I thought the guy needing help was just right here. Oh, he's through the he's beyond the egg basket. So then I have to go save him, but then a Moz is right on me. I barely jump out. Get him. Paint that guy up. keep my roller down so that I'm not in trouble moving. Jump over this area, spin the roller, put another egg in, and get out before the rain kills me. There's so many different factors there. Picking the right movement, positioning is everything. Seeing a weakened enemy and knowing if your weapon can take care of it easily or what. And I see that fly fish. Ah! Ah! Yeah, I still have to get it. I still have to get it. Thank you. Somebody killed the snake or the eel so I could basically stay on that enemy. I like how nice and purple the base is. No, you don't. So I hit that scrapper so he would follow me, then I hit him again. And then I jump over here, and I kill those enemies, stop him again just like I explained before. Call for help, put it on the wall, and I missed the jump, no! So yeah, taking care of your targets. This is so cool, so like, every little bit of interplay matters. Seeing these enemies, I can roll these normal sized chum enemies up. So what I do in this situation is go, hey guys, this way, because I knew I'd probably need some help, because I'm going to take out a whole side by myself. I go, hey, I don't want you painting up the base. Follow me, jerk. And I kill a few, throw that, and paint my path forward, because this weapon is good at rolling, but when he's rolling it out, it's slow, so I need to get some speed here. Forward, nearly kill this enemy. He should have been dead. Did he die? Oh wow! The explosion from the bucket of this fly fish has a small shockwave that damages nearby enemies, and it's just enough to kill that guy. Cool. I slowed the scrapper down in front of me again, kind of take a bath in the green ink, which is not a good idea. It's a bad habit of mine. And then I know to jump this gap, which I've shown you that trick before on the stream. Break down the enemy composition. I know I need to get my roller out, so I do a 180 and hit these enemies. Stop him briefly, just enough, and then the maw, right? Just enough for this maw to not bite me where I'm trying to go, and then barely enough ink that drips down, right? You have to aim at the right spot knowing that the amount of ink you want is going to drip. And I couldn't get over the wall. So that's enough. These are all the reasons why I love Splatoon. Salmon Run, Grizzco, all these little things matter. Being able to read the field, and I love it how it's composed of such simple, straightforward elements, right? It creates all kinds of complex and numerous challenges that you have to be very skilled to break down, not only to understand what priority targets are and how to move, but based on your weapon, that kind of determines everything. And then your special, which you get, is random, so that also kind of complements your kit. It really challenges players a lot. Like you can play the same mode with the same weapons over and over and get so many different results. So Splatoon is brilliant, and I think Salmon Run brings out the brilliance of Splatoon the best. I haven't played the Octo expansion yet, but come on. This not only has the multiplayer co-op component, not only is it incredibly difficult because it goes all the way up to max hazard, which is super hard, but the aiming challenges are really diverse and clear, right? There's nothing in multiplayer where you have to throw a bomb at to win, but there's fly fish in this and other enemies specifically designed for very specific countermeasures. So, I really love this. This is good. So until next time, guys, another game tomorrow. Getting back on track. Let me know if you want to see anything specific. Until then, peace.